Great morning, Wealth Warriors. How is everybody doing this morning? It is Saturday. And if it's Saturday, where are we? We're watching the Wealth Warrior broadcast. Today, we are talking about the fact that it is a great time, and I mean truly a great time, to schedule a family meeting, to schedule a family financial meeting. Why? Because we're all here. That's one of the best parts. Folks are coming in between Thanksgiving and Christmas, or if you refer to it as a family day, whatever you call that holiday, is a time when family comes together. And between the family day, the holiday, through the end of the year, family is so much more connected. In fact, more so, it's been statistically proven. So I'm not speaking out of pocket. So some people say, well, my family meets more often. I'm merely speaking from statistics. Statistically speaking, now is the opportune time when folks get together. And so it's a great time to say, what are we doing for the family? How are we going to move our family forward? What legacies are we going to leave? Have we been thinking about those? How can we pool our money together and grow it? So now is an opportune time to schedule and follow through in preparation for 2018. And then to be in execution mode, boom, right out of the gate. Hit that red button on January 1st and say, hey, we are on. So how do you go about scheduling that meeting? Who is going to be there? Those are some of the things we're going to talk about in this quick moving broadcast today. So let me get started by saying again, great morning, Wealth Warriors! I hope that you had a fantabulous week last week and that you connected with family. You didn't argue too much. I love one of my associates said the best thing that happened was that she didn't set any fires. And she knows who she is, so I don't need to say anything more, but I love that comment. Brent, I didn't set any fires, so it was a great day. Now, first and foremost, we have braggadocious going on. We have braggers, braggings. Go up on the site and congratulate the braggers. Go up to the Wealth Warrior Group broadcast page on Facebook and say congratulations to the braggers, the folks that woke up early and said, I want to be here. I want to hear the details that Brent Harding is sharing this morning. So I thank you. I want to give some shout outs. Give a shout out to Pamela Stone. She greeted me this morning. Thank you so very much, Pamela. Want to give out to a shout out to Robin Tennille. Your grandchild is absolutely adorable. I mean, truly adorable. I want to say and give a shout out to Deirdre Bridges. Thank you so much for greeting me at Boston Speaks event on Friday. Want to give a shout out to Kit Pang and say, hey, it was wonderful. Thank you for allowing me or positioning me where I could share a calendar of events with your audience. So I say thank you very, very much. It was absolutely great. And I want to thank all my listening audience, all of you, for continuing to be with me, for continuing to watch every week, for giving me notes, sending shout outs, giving me thank yous. I thank you, because without you, it wouldn't happen. So I'm going to ask you to do something right quick, and that is to pick up your phone, hit the share button, and share the broadcast with someone you know that is really working diligently towards making a difference for their families and thereby making a difference for the world. Because when we help our families to grow, to maneuver, it makes a difference in the universe. It really does. So I thank you again. Pick the phone up, hit the share button, and invite them in so every week they get the nuggets as well. That's how we grow. And that's how we get like-minded people to work with us. So that's so important. I want to share with you also that the Wealth Warrior broadcast is being sponsored by My Econ. My Econ is a site that has a plethora of tools that we are using to share information with you. It's a plethora of tools that we can inculcate in ourselves. It helps us focus in on the taxes. And right now, what did we just hear? We heard that the United States is closer to some major legislation for tax reform. That tax reform affects all of us. And it's all the more reason why we want to be connected with the family and connected on that financial level. We're connected with love, but we need to connect on that financial level. Now is the time to schedule that appointment and to follow through. I'm going to suggest that we schedule it, and we've got a heavy duty topic to schedule it around. How are we going to deal with the growth of our finances, the growth of our investing with what we see coming down the pike? So with that being said, here's the deal. It is imperative, absolutely imperative, that we schedule the meeting. It would be terrific to schedule it this month and actually execute this month. I realize that's pushing it. And this is a time when people are sleeping. This is a time when we're joyous and we don't want to think about the finances. Well, I promise you that by January, when we see that credit card bill come in, we're going to be thinking about the finances. I would like for you to be up and enthusiastic and ready because you cut down, you shaved down, you gave incredible gifts and the gift of knowledge. You gave the gift of savings. You gave the gift of investing. Give those can be year-round gifts. And the beauty of those kind of gifts, the beauty of investing in stock or investing or putting money into an investment club on behalf of a family member or something of that nature, is that's the gift that keeps on giving year-round. So back at hand, who comes to the party, the event, the family financial meeting? Well, certainly it's family heads. Who is going to represent each family in this grouping? Or are we doing a massive one similar to a family reunion? Whatever the structure is, I share this with you. Make sure the children are there listening, so that it inculcates in their heads, in their hearts, that this is how our family operates. We leave legacies for the next generation. We pass it on so that it continues to grow. And this generation gets to use it and they pass it on to the next generation. The next generation gets to use it and they pass it on to the next generation. But we are perpetually moving the dial forward, so that we get to say, hey, on the wall is grandma so-and-so, or hey, on the wall is uncle so-and-so that left us with a good foundation. Now, the foundation is about the capital. It's also about the principles. It's about understanding taxes. It's about understanding investment. It is about understanding how to create those residuals perpetually. So we've got taxes, paying down debt, and investing, that they understand those components and they know how to deal with them. That's why they've got to be in the room. Now, with that being said, there are a few different ways to handle this meeting. Whatever we're doing in the meeting, we need to agree that this is how we're going to operate. So there need to be some rules of engagement. And there needs to be the rules of engagement that say how we are going to run the meeting. What are the outcomes that we're expecting from those meetings? And ultimately, when do we hit the red button and action? So, what are the rules? How are we going to operate? Well, again, step one, schedule the meeting. Schedule the meeting, and no matter what, have the meeting. Whether it is 10 people that show up or 2 people that show up, be committed to the original meeting date. And what you're saying to those that can't make it, we'll make sure that the notes are out there. And the next scheduled date, we will see each other there. Now, if you're new to this, I'm going to suggest that for the first quarter of the year, you have a January meeting, a February meeting, and a March meeting. And then after that, you might go every other month. But 28, as I've shared multiple times, 2018 is pivotal. It is a strong year. It is a year in which we have already understood that there are going to be massive, regardless of where this tax bill goes, there are going to be massive structural changes. There are going to be massive changes because we are going through that 10-year period. 2018, remember it actually started in 2016. We said that it was going to be pivotal in 2018. We want to have the cash ready. And in order to do that, we've got to have a plan, which means that we do have to meet. And when we're meeting, we've got rules of engagement. What are the rules going to be? Are we going to separate into small groups and discuss something and bring it back to the whole group? Are we going to list out what it is that we want to have happen in 2018? Everything about the structure of the meeting needs to be written out and handed out so that everybody understands that this is how we're going to operate this meeting. Now, with that being said, who's going to take charge? Who is going to either be appointed or self-appoint themselves? Whatever we do, we've got to do it with grace and dignity, and we've got to make sure that family members understand that if you're the one and egos get in the way, it's about the family. I'm getting the ball rolling. Who wants to take over? Who wants a job in this family arrangement? Because we need somebody that's facilitating the meeting. We need somebody that's written up the rules of engagement for the meeting. We need somebody that's going to be the secretary, that's going to take the notes and make sure the notes get disseminated. And they're disseminated and they're written in a way that everybody can understand them. And then everybody gets them. Who's the person that's going to make the phone calls to ensure that the family members are there? Where is this event going to take place? Whose house is this going to take place at? Whose house is it going to take place in December? Whose house in January, February, and March? Let's engage, which means we may move it from house to house to house so that everybody feels a part. It's an ownership. We've got to own all the pieces. And sometimes we just don't want to get together because we're ready for the words, oh, I know this and why this and why that. This is a time when we get outside of the box because we've got a greater mission. And the greater mission is leaving the legacy. That is the most powerful piece of all. That's the greatest part, is we're leaving the legacy. And we're living now. It's about our lifestyle today, and it's leaving that legacy. It's about making some challenging choices. Do we need the newest item, the newest piece of technology? Do we need the newest vehicle? Do we need to have that 50-inch screen TV? I don't know how big do they come right now. Right now, they're probably so big that they could actually be a movie theater. What do we need right now versus what will we have over here? So there are components that need to be put together. Everybody is going to get an assignment. Everybody's going to be a part. They're going to bring something to the table. That is powerful. So right now, it's step by step. The first engagement is about laying the foundation, the procedures. Rules of engagement. I like the rules of engagement. However, I know Dr. Wright would say the procedures. We've got to write out procedures and process so that everybody knows step by step. It becomes transparent. And it's easy for people to inject themselves in and pick up. So here you've got the P words, you've got plan, you've got procedures, you've got process. And it all begins, believe it or not, by scheduling a date. and sticking to it no matter how many people show up. If you're sitting there by yourself, then I just had the meeting. I held the family meeting. This is what I discussed with myself on behalf of the family. Who is going to represent so that information not only does it get to the group, however, if I need some suggestions or if I need to contact, so are you going to be the spokesperson on behalf of your family? Are you going to be spokesperson on behalf of your family? We are all a unit. However, there are components to the unit. Now, why do I say this? I'm experiencing this personally. And I got to tell you, I am real clear now where things need to be written down, because what I thought and what you thought, what we interpreted, can be significantly different. So I share this with you from experience. I share this with you from love of the heart. I share this with you from the mindset. We can either have losses or we can have lifestyle. Which L do you want? Do you want challenges or do you want solutions? See, what it's about is creating wealth. We've already heard that the middle class is diminishing. It is becoming a dinosaur. So we're left with two choices. Either we've got to shoot for the moon or shoot for the moon, or you fill in the or. Do I sound enthusiastic? I hope that I do. Am I really propelling? Am I really moving and motivating you? I hope that am I actually, no, not motivating you, inspiring you, inspiring us to create wealth for our families in the next generation. And in many instances, we are the start. We're using our 40-40 plan. That means we're working 40 hours a week. We're not going to want to work for 40 years, are we? We want to be able to do the work now. Would you do the work for the next 2 to 4 years to live the lifestyle? Squeeze that paycheck and make it give back to you. Take that check in January and February and make it pay for itself. Because let's put it this way, the federal government got an opportunity to use your money all year long, interest-free. So now you've got to make that money work for you. It worked hard for them, make it work for you. And that's what we're going through. Taxes, reducing them puts more money in your pocket. Pulling that debt down, more money in your pocket. Investing, residual, perpetual. There are so many opportunities on the table. Hashtag create opportunities. Hashtag expect results. Always. I'm just saying. So let's take a quick recap and then I'll share some events with you. Okay, so what are we talking about? We're talking about this is a great time to schedule that family financial meeting and put the word finance in there. It's about the money. Schedule that meeting. Between now and the meeting date, you want to write out the procedures for the meeting, the process or procedures for the meeting, the rules of engagement. And these are suggestive, and then they get ratified at the meeting. These are the suggested rules of engagement. Is everybody in agreement? Majority rules. Can we all agree majority rules? Let's move it down because we've got a greater goal ahead to take advantage of all that's going to be happening in 18 and 19. Because remember this, during the storm, money is made. That's what we're saying. Who's going to represent each of the families that's going to be at the table? Bring the children along. They need to know. We need to know and they need to know. And I'll tell you one thing about the kids. They can do the research. Put a kid on the research, they will move that and show it to you in seconds. We need their help in researching. Let's face it, nobody can do this by themselves. No matter what, have the meeting, whether it's you by yourself, you call the meeting to order and you write up the notes. But and you'll hear me say I'm taking but out of my vocabulary because the things that come behind but we don't want any more buts. We want to engage and make that happen. Next week, we are going to be talking about let's write up those procedures and let's write up the procedures and process so that we're going by the end of this month. If you schedule it in January, which means that it executes, so we're going to have it scheduled and execute in the same month, that's okay. We're going to get everything out. Schedule the meeting, no matter what. Even though you do not know yet all the details, schedule the meeting. At least schedule it after next Saturday, okay? Schedule the meeting. Okay, with that being said, let me give you some calendar of events. If you are in Boston on December 5th, Tuesday, December 5th, then I want to see you at my first workshop series. The workshop is actually entitled, I Want My Life Back. No, I want it back better. And the subset of that is having the will, do the work to create the things that you want to create. This is especially designed for entrepreneurs. Entrepreneurs who have been challenged, who are having challenges, and they need to get back in the game and get back in the game like this. Now, that is all. It's also open to anybody else that's having challenges, because what we're going to be sharing with you is how to rise up after those challenges, how to get back in the game and be successful. And whatever you define as success, that's happening on Tuesday, December 5th. That is going to be at Hub Boston, 50 Milk Street, 15th floor, and that's in Boston, Massachusetts. Start time is 12 noon. That's 12 noon is the start time. I want to give a shout out and a thank you to Ms. Carrie Brown, also to Juanita Grant, and to Albertha Bogan for serving as the event ambassadors. Thank you, ladies, very, very much. Next, Monday, December 11th, we are having my year-end after party 2. Psyched! It is going to be coming together. And this is open. You have to register both of these events, register on Eventbrite. So let me finish this out. December 11th, it's the after party 2. It's going to be at the Point Pub and Restaurant. That's the Point. It's referred to as the Point at 147 Hanover Street in Boston. Parking is going to be at the Boston Public Market. Parking is above there. So, and we are validating. Come and bring yourself, bring your stories, bring the great things, the good stuff that's happened to you, and share it with all of us. And we might be doing some karaoke. Yeah, get that voice on. All righty, with that being said, I want to thank you so very much. Oh my goodness, wait a minute. Every Saturday morning, where are we? We're in front of our computer. We might have it projected on the TV. It might be on our phone. However, we are always live and in charge on Saturday mornings at 9 a.m. And that is for everybody that wants to hear good content. On Monday evenings at 7 p.m., guess what we're doing? For those who are entrepreneurs in the house, we're talking all entrepreneurship, and that is at 7 p.m. every Monday evening, with the exception of December 11th. December 11th, Monday evening is coming to the point. How about that? So with that being said, I want to say thank you so very, very much for being with me this morning. As always, go out today, and what do we say? Be absolutely amazing. I will see you Monday evening, 7 p.m. If you're coming to our our evening event, I will see you on Saturday morning at 9 a.m. if you're on the Wealth Warrior broadcast. Take care now.